Okay, I'm calling this meeting to order at 7:35 PM. You all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First item, we have a roll call, please.
Okay, Supervisor Crowner,
Here.
Trustee Jones.
Here.
Trustee Kozlinski,
Here.
Trustee Rocket.
Yes, here.
Trustee Tyson,
Here.
Assessor Katzberg,
Here.
Highway Commissioner Weiser,
Here.
Tax Collector David Scriven Young.
He did say he would not be able to attend.
And Clerk Liskey here.
Okay. We have a quorum. First item or next item on the agenda rather is public comment. Limited to 1 3-minute comment per person. Yes.
Township issue, remember 2 meetings ago, we talked about that easement.
Okay.
I've got Bill Novak from the city of Naperville. And there's been kind of some changes. I don't want to take time away from him, but he's gonna try to explain it to, and it might take more than 3 minutes.
It might, but I'll try, I understand, try to keep it going quick, you know.
So,
Wait, why isn't this an agenda item?
I'm sorry. So I'll just explain that Tom brought this to my attention
Oh, okay.
today. And unfortunately, as you all know, we can't add items to the agenda with less than 48 hours notice.
Okay.
And so that's why I invited him to speak during public comment, but I think
Okay.
with the discretion of the board, we can give him extended period of time. However, we cannot take any actions on what's discussed this
Yeah, because
evening.
I don't want to limit him.
Yeah, so,
Fully understand you cannot take action. I just wanted to try to take some time and
Appreciate
explain what the easements are and what
Excuse me,
they're.
sir, could I have your name again, please?
Bill Novak, NOVACK, Director of Transportation, City Engineer for the City of Naperville.
Thank you.
Am I home address or anything or?
No.
Okay.
Social Security, no, I'm kidding.
your mother's maiden name.
Second born, I'll tell you that, all right?
I don't want any more born, so you keep it.
All right, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So, City of Naperville, we're.
Sorry, it's the IT department.
Yeah, thanks. That would be Elon Musk, right? Where's your
Yes,
t-shirt?
you're
Thank you
up.
very much. Thank you. Sorry, guys.
All right. if I
Thanks,
can kind of
Mike.
slow this down. City of
Yes.
Naperville owns the remaining 22 acres out here immediately west of your property. And as you've heard, we're looking to subdivide the property. We have 2 buyers. We have Lifetime, so the township's property is back here. The elevated tank and water tower are here, and the fire station's on lot 1 of the original subdivision. The tower court comes back. The proposed subdivision is Lifetime Fitness will go on the hard corner here. This outlot will be a stormwater management basin. Lot 3, we're looking to sell that to Gorman, and they are planning to do affordable housing for seniors and also for individuals with developmental disabilities. I believe it's 71 units they want to build out there. And then lot 2, we don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna hold on to it for a while. Personally, I think it'd be a great phase 2. If this is successful, I think it'd be a great phase 2, but that's not my decision to make. A couple of easements, totally understand you cannot take any action. We're still working on language with the different attorneys here, and I understand you don't want to engage your attorneys as much. Try to limit that. So what I want to do, get our language down good, because these 2 want to set it up differently, and we're getting close to having consensus on that, and then I can present it to the township or to the road district, and if you guys want to send it to your attorneys, that's fine. But let me explain the easements. There's 2 main easements that involve you. And so this is a blow up of the 22 acres. Again, the Lifetime lot, the stormwater management, the vacant lot, and
You guys
the
want-
foreman's gonna go.
Come
Yeah.
around so you can see a little better. Feel free.
So there's 2 main easements that affect the township. First of all, there's a cross-access easement that is gonna run to the benefit of Lifetime, the city, and this, and it will also run to the benefit of the township. And that easement is from the right in, right out entrance on the Lifetime lot going all the way back to, this is planned to be a full access right across from English Rose. I can still call it Tommy Nevins. This will come back into the parking lot for Gorman, go around and then come on up. And they're trying to get to our court so that basically people that are here, they can get access back in through there to fire and everyone else. We need a cross-access easement across the entrance of your property here. When we're platting the cross-access on this, it runs to the benefit of these property owners and the township. I made sure we put in there so you can take your stuff in and out through this way. The second easement is for stormwater management, and basically the little basin you have out here was built on your property and on the city property. So it encroaches the property lines pretty much down the middle. And so it's all your stormwater storage, and we could have said, get it off of there, but it's like, let's leave it as where it is. They'll build around it. And there's going to be Gorman, really the city will grant all these easements before we sell the Gorman, but we will grant an easement on this property for your stormwater to be stored on this property and stuff. So I've got little blow ups of the two easement areas. This is the stormwater. Basin's right in here. Your building is over here. The Gorman building will be there. This, and then the cross access. The cross access where that parking lot will come in and tie into the drive as you come into the township. So, as I said, basically, I'm making all these as reciprocal as possible so that all the rights that are granted to these people are also granted to you. And the other part, when we do this, when the city or Gorman grant this easement for your stormwater on their property, the Gorman attorney wants you guys to grant an easement. So Gorman's water can be on your property. It's only going to be on your property if a huge wind from the west blows it over, but they're storing their water in here, but some of their drain runoff goes into this basin and that's routed through there. So it's a legal technicality that I think is above and beyond, but so those basically are the two easements that we'd be hoping to work with you on. I can answer any questions regarding this or almost anything else if you'd like.
I guess 2 meetings ago, I brought it up, I don't know if Tom, you let him know to the,
Cross access.
yeah, why couldn't they just go here? Just don't even come into our property at all.
We looked at that and it laid out so much better with the way that their parking lot was to come in right in here. It also clips into the basin there. So initially we had it coming up like this and it was a lot clunkier than this. I'll be honest. The first design came out and went in and everyone looked at it. It's like, and then someone came up with this and like, that is so much cleaner and nicer.
That's today.
It could be done. We'd have to redesign a lot of stuff, but honestly, when we looked at this, it's a lot better. If I can find the old drawings, I'll see if I can get.
And this is already taking into consideration that we have to side road on the side of our building now, the new driveway.
It's just.
But how far out in the drawing, as far as you can tell, is that driveway? Because my only concern
It's
is
just the.
how close, I can't visualize it from here. Also, it's a lot further north, or sorry, south.
I know,
Roughly.
we pediatric.
I think so, they do
We
northbound.
have them too.
Yes, correct.
So, yeah, so basically they'll come in, we'll have to put like stop, stop here for them to stop. Look to the right and then. If they're going out.
So, and then my concern, because then even with a stop sign, right, so we have a sign there, I just want to make sure. Thinking about what expenses could come for us, we have that sign, right, is that gonna be blocking
If
view?
that
Is that
sign, we'll have to look at that, and if it is, and I do not yet. This might be.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the sign.
The sign it should be fine.
Okay.
Because it's at least 10, 20 feet off the property line.
Yeah.
So. And again, to be, it's not like we're losing that property, it's just an easement. We're granting access for utilities and stormwater. We still own the land.
Yeah, that sign's actually. Will be their property, so. It's right in this little rectangle right here. So,
Okay.
and that's,
So when I walked it off, we had at least 5 feet or something.
if this is it, I'm not sure. It's not labeled everything. That's typically don't show that.
Cause it's, our sign is east of our detention there, right? So that, wouldn't that be,
There's a stake in the, there's a wooden stake out there, you can go up, but there's a
Yeah.
wooden stake out there that delineates the line between the properties.
yeah,
And it's clearly 10, 15 feet east of it. The stake, no, it's west.
west of our
The stake
sign.
is, the stake is west of the sign, I mean, the
Yeah.
sign is about
East,
10,
yeah,
15 east of the
Yeah.
property line, yes.
So, I know, I did not take a surveyor tool out there
Yeah.
and measure it that closely, but
I'm just thinking through, are we gonna incur an expense having to move that for safety reasons for
For site distance.
for
as they
site?
go
Yeah,
down.
exactly.
I don't think so. Looking at this, I think they're gonna be able, they'll be clear of it, so as they come on up in here. they should be
I think
actually-
that's just one of the questions we'd want to get answered because we'd have to, I mean, I don't know if you, what you know about our budget. We operate very lean here.
I know.
And
I
so-
appreciate it.
Being able to, and being mindful of that and then figuring out what the plan would be for that, because I know it's not a minor expense to move something like that. We'd have to take that into account as well.
And if it had to be moved, I think, you know, the city and Gorman and worked with you relative to. Should it be shared signage or something like that, that might give better direction before they come up. I'm just, you know, we're open to a lot of different things.
Understood.
and then on top of that, some of the drawings that I saw from Gorman. And like, you know, a sign coming down tower, but further up towards the property, towards the water tower. And then they're gonna put up a sign that says Wheatland Township, our sign would stay there. But another sign on the east side of the road
Okay.
saying that that was on the drawings that I saw. Very,
I haven't seen those.
yeah, but very minimal, and it wasn't gonna be anything fancy, but just like a street sign, so, or something like that.
That's- And then for just our reference, what is the timeline expectation right now? And not in terms of the development, but as far as when we would need to take action for you all to get things moving along.
So this has been dragging on for a couple of years and, you know, suddenly all of a sudden, actually Gorman has, funding lined up and they have to have the building done right now by, the end of 2026.
So they secured
actually
their
wanna
IDA
break
financing?
ground This May, June.
Yes,
And they want to get going on, so that's kind of what's pushing it right now. Lifetime's probably about 2 months behind them.
okay.
Suddenly in the last 2 weeks, they've woken up and are like, oh, we gotta get moving on this.
So then with that being said, if we were to have something, could we kind of, I would just want to be mindful of everybody. I know a lot of folks want to make sure that these things are able to get on. Would our board meeting in April, an approval at that point be sufficient for
That
what's
would be
needed?
great.
Okay, so do you think that they'll have all the legal taken care of prior to then so that we can have our attorney review?
That is my hope.
Okay,
And your meeting in April is the.
I think it's the 8th.
8th, okay.
let me check for you. Yeah, the second Tuesday, it's 8th.
And it's only, it's one. All the current.
It's also the annual meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do the annual.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions for Mr.
I
Novak?
had one more, someone, I don't know who brought it up last time about, or maybe I did, about liability.
Mhm.
Like, say there was an accident in the cross access. That's our property still, so like who, I guess, I don't know how, if that can be handled in the easement language or.
Well, this cross, keep in mind, the cross access, a little bit on your property, a lot on Gorman's, a lot on the cities, the outlot, and a lot on LTFs. And basically, and we talked about a lot of things about maintenance of it and everything, and basically the position I think we should. I've been promoting is everyone takes care of the pavement on their property, and basically, if there is an accident or something, if people sue everyone whenever there's an accident. So, you know, if there's an accident here. And they sue you, they're gonna sue the city too, they're gonna sue everyone these days, you know, who the judges throw out is really up to the judges. But,
I did run this past our insurance and we do have liability insurance for this exact purpose, even if someone slipped, for example, right out front. So, quote unquote, from Carrie, we're covered. It's baked in.
I actually didn't wanna bring up the pond issue, cause I saw that it wasn't even on our property.
yeah. It goes on the-
But the fact that they're putting it in an easement,
The fact that they were like, you know, when we first discovered it, and they're like, you know, get it off of there, and it's like, see if we can just, if we can design around it and keep it on there. And they were able to, they've been working with very good faith, so.
And right,
And it's the right thing, no reason.
and right now too, I mean, the only way in and out is Tower. So
It's nice to have a
If-
second point of access.
if people are coming here to the township, I mean, legally, then you can just go right through.
Legally, they can, because the easement that will be granted with this final subdivision plat runs to these benefits, and we threw your property in here too. I can't grant this on this plat because this lot is not part of the subdivision. So that's why we had a separate cross access easement agreement here.
Okay.
Good. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. We'll be on the lookout for the Red Sox.
Would you like me to leave these open?
Thomas? Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Any additional public comment before moving on with the agenda? Okay. Next item on the agenda, can I get a motion to approve the February 13th, 2025 regular meeting minutes?
Make a motion to approve February minute.
A second. All right, Rotkus and Jones. Any comments on the meeting minutes before we proceed to a roll call vote? Hearing none, roll call please.
Supervisor Crowner,
Yes.
trustee Kuzinski,
Yes.
trustee Tyson,
Yes.
trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Rockus.
Yes.
Okay, the February 13 minutes unanimously pass, 5-0.
The executive session minutes, you get those from?
Everybody had the executive session, did they not? Otherwise, I have copies here if you need
I
them.
see a
They
copy.
were emailed to you though.
I thought, yeah.
See it on my email. Sorry, can I get a motion to approve, the January 9th executive session minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve executive session minutes.
And a second, please? Second. Okay, any comments on the, minutes before we move on to a roll call?
Supervisor Crowner,
Yes.
trustee Kuzinski,
Yes.
trustee Tyson,
Yes.
trustee Jones,
Yes.
trustee Rockus.
Yes.
And the executive session minutes from January 9th unanimously passed 5-0.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, can I get a motion to approve the annual town fund meeting agenda? Motion.
I second the motion.
Jones and Rodgers. You all should have received a copy via email. It's pretty much the same agenda we do every year. Any comments, questions, or concerns? And just as a reminder, this will be immediately before our regular monthly meeting. So we will do the monthly meeting at 7:30 after that one. Any comments before moving on to an approval or the roll call? All right, hearing none, roll call please.
Supervisor Crowner,
Yes.
trustee Kuzinski,
Yes.
trustee Tyson,
Yes.
trustee Jones,
Yes.
trustee Rockus.
Yes.
Great, annual towns meeting agenda unanimously passes 5-0.
All right, Bill, if you can work with Carolyn and getting that posted in the required places. Thank you. Next up on the agenda, approval of bills and claims. Can I get a motion to approve the town and road district fund bills and claims? Motion to approve the bills. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, Jones and Guzwinski.
Great.
Any questions or comments on the bills?
This one with utilities, is this have to do with the ComEd? That ComEd bill where they charged like the 6,000, but it was actually for previous months.
Just give me one moment, I'm opening it back up. What was the amount on that one? That you're referring, that you're
It's-
referencing?
The town fund, it's 4261 utilities.
I'm sorry, the amount at the end. Should be on the far right, or on the right side.
6878.6,
I'm pulling this back up, just one.
but this isn't the bills, this is the budget.
Spreadsheet of budget.
So this is how much we spent this month. And then this is how much we've spent to date within the budget. So
Okay.
so if you're looking at,
I'm okay with that.
oh, so this is utilities. Yeah, so it went over, and yes, to what you're referring to. That's why it's showing as having gone over.
Okay,
I believe that is that bill you're referring to. I thought you were saying that we had an additional $6,000 bill this.
no,
Okay. Any additional questions on the bills before we move on to a roll call?
Moving on, Supervisor Crowner.
Yes.
Trustee Kozlowski,
yes.
trustee Tyson,
Yes.
trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Ruckus.
Yes.
Great, what are they, February bills? Unanimously passed 5-0.
Thank you. Moving on to report, Senior Administrator Bill Green.
But I showed trustee Rockets today, my brand new shiny new little document from attending this program at NIU Professional Development of Township Officials. Of course, the guy that the dean of NIU didn't sign it, so they're sending me one that's signed, but it's up. Apparently, everybody got one that wasn't signed and not too smart, but whatever, college, you know. We did host the Aurora Wheatland Township primary over the month. We had a nice 15-hour day. I had never done that before, spent a whole day at the poll. I'm sure everybody else in the room has, but I had not, and it was 15 hours. 52 voters showed up for the primary for Aurora mayor, and it was for the Wheatland Township portion. Positives during our most recent hearing processes for me. We made excellent connections with the county staff by working with the sheriff. Had good conversations with her staff members, and I learned a lot about the process of doing different things. Hearings with several people from the county clerk's office. Rebecca Leader is really a professional and helpful in getting our ballot issues. I sent her and her workmates some bagels and cream cheese one day. They were very thankful and appreciative. I also sent a note to the clerk letting them know how much Rebecca helps. I had the opportunity to speak at Wheatland Salem Church one Sunday morning. My wife and I attended their service at the request of Pastor Zaki, who takes, we have our senior lunches at that church. So, and it's a Methodist church, and my wife and I attend Methodist Church in Lombard. We figured we'd go.
What did you speak about?
We spoke about the opioid crisis, things that are going on. Alex's Law, which is named after my son, letting them know that if any of them wanted Narcan, we actually have it on hand here and at no cost to anybody. It is free. It is paid for by a grant to the county Department of Health, and then they can distribute it to anybody that wants it. I or my wife can train someone on how to use Narcan. It's really easy. I prefer to leave those technical issues to the cardiac nurse that I'm married to, but I do know how to give Narcan. And the one thing, if you don't know anything about Narcan, if you give it to somebody that's not overdosing, it won't hurt them at all. It'll probably kind of ruin their day, but it won't hurt them. So it's better safe than sorry. I did attend one of the open houses for the Plainfield Wheatland Chamber. Carolyn attended, and I had a meeting. We both had there were two meetings on one day, so she went one way and I went the other. But other than all the regular stuff.
That's good.
Okay, well, I'm working on getting a couple people to help us with our measuring, appraisers. There may be one that's interested in full-time work, so I'm arranging that. They're probably gonna come in next week and get us caught up because we desperately need that. So been about a year since we had a field agent, more than a year.
Anything else?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Highway Commissioner Weiser?
When we get back most of the time after that, one thing though, there was an impromptu meeting where you showed up and they had all the people there. The date that they showed, that told me was June, the breaking ground, which is kind of verifies what you just said. Also, construction entrance was gonna be off 103rd, not Tower.
Actually, Tower and 103rd.
Tower and 100, yeah, okay, you confirm that, okay. Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Tom. I think it's trustees now. First up,
Trustee
Terry
Jones.
Jones.
Oh, well, just, you aren't already aware, make you aware that, state of Illinois and counties are trying to eliminate township government, so make sure you contact your legislators and let them know how you feel.
All right, thank you. Trustee Kuzminski,
No report.
trustee Rockis.
Two things I'd like to cover. First one is just a process question. Being knee deep in the electoral board the past several months, this is just kind of piqued my interest as far as if a document is really for the clerk and the assistant clerk, if a document isn't on our website, what is the protocol for a citizen to access that? Does it have to be a FOIA, or can they come in and like request a document?
My answer to that is it should be a FOIA,
It
and
should always be a FOIA.
it is a slippery slope to just
Okay.
open your computer systems to people randomly and letting
Okay.
people just come in. At a minimum, they should call first and, maybe work it out, but it should be
So really, everything,
And we respond
That
to
totally
FOIAs,
makes
we
sense.
respond to FOIAs within 5 days, so
Okay.
it's not, unless there's a problem, in which case, then
Right.
we send a note and say, we need an extension for 5 more days, so worst case, you're looking at 10 days.
okay, so everything there's a lot of.
And I know it sounds really simple to say, just pop by and we're a small office, but if you think
No,
about that
I've
practically.
seen what you have to
If you think
do.
about that practically, it doesn't
Yeah.
work. Frankly, this is not my full-time job.
Right.
Bill's not always here. He just mentioned he's at training classes, I mean, it's
Right.
just,
Yeah, I just was
you
curious.
lose track of it.
because-
We can't keep accurate records.
Right.
So I really prefer FOIA, and that is the appropriate way to do it.
Got it, okay, thank you for that. The second item I feel compelled to bring forward, there is nothing I would like to put behind me than, the 3 electoral board objections and all the subsequent meetings that, were tied to that. However, in an attempt to defend themselves, the Republican slate made a fair number of FOIAs. Some of the members of that slate were persistent in pointing out to me that they had video footage questioning the original objection and when it was filed. Okay, you've got video, let me see it. So I took a look at the video and I was shocked because it adds up, and I'd just like to share publicly what I saw and what I have access to since they've shared the FOIA information with me. It pertains, like I said, to the very first objection, which was filed on December 23rd. Following the Illinois State Election Code, it was to be filed by 3:30 on that day. And the video reveals that Michael Crowner came to the township. This is apparent by the front door camera footage at 3:27. He spoke with our office administrator, Carolyn, until 3:31, roughly until she left. The front hallway camera captured that. And then at 3:32 p.m., he walked into Bill Green's office with the paperwork on behalf of Mr. Paijan, who was the objector. At 3:36, Bill Green walks toward the copy room purportedly to make a copy. I believe 2 copies are required of this document. And then Michael Crowner left Bill Green's office at 3:40, and he left the whole township office at 3:43. When you watch this footage, it is so clear that this document could not have possibly been signed until 3:32 p.m. Yet it's timestamped by hand at 3:30. The response was that the machine was broken. The machine makes sense. I have no reason to distrust Bill Green. Unfortunately, when you see the footage, it tells a very different story. Calling into question the integrity of what happened. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. It's very it's upsetting. It's just, it's this whole electoral board situation is predicated on, from what I can tell, the falsification of the actual first paperwork. And this whole electoral board, we spent, this didn't get filed on time, this didn't get sent to the candidates on time, and it was like, some stuff got to be overlooked and other stuff didn't get to be overlooked, and this is black and white. Again, if anyone's interested, I have the tape. I just wanted to report, it's just a disappointment to me. I'm done.
Margaret Tyson,
I have nothing to report.
okay, Cliff Liskey,
Yeah, lots and lots of FOIAs still continuing. February, we had 6 and then 4 already this month. Everything's up to date. 1 is in process that we hope to close out tomorrow.
thank you. I have the report for tax collector Scriven Young. Let's see. So unfortunately, he'll not be able to attend today's meeting, obviously. He says, if I don't make it, please have the minutes reflect a written report stating that we have sold 8 graves and had 2 casket burials in the last, or since the last board meeting. All right, and then final report is myself, Supervisor Crowner. Couple of things. Actually, I had a question for you earlier. I didn't recall if you said it. How many boxes of Narcan have been taken from the township or have been taken by residents from the township?
18.
18 so far.
18 devices, so it'd be
Okay.
3 boxes.
Okay. Thank you. I recently started as, I guess you could kind of call it like an interim CFO or interim finance director at the Will Grundy Medical Clinic. Had a really good opportunity to try to get an idea of what they do down there during this time. It's been about 6 weeks or so now. I wasn't very familiar with them prior to going down there, but I just wanted to just tell you guys very briefly about the clinic so that you guys are aware if you're come across anybody who could use assistance and the kind of assistance they provide. Will Grundy Medical Clinic. Yes. So Will Grundy Medical Clinic primarily serves the unhoused population. They offer free medical care services there. They also are able to provide referrals to other physicians that will either do things at a substantially discounted rate or for free, especially on those specialties. They also have mental health services that I think are coming on board really soon. They have case managers to assist folks with kind of getting in contact with housing providers, workforce providers, whatever it may be. They also have a street outreach team that goes into kind of like, homeless camps and stuff like that. And they also have tenant-based rental assistance programs to help some folks kind of transition into housing and get on their feet. So if you ever come across any organizations that are, within the Will or Grundy County areas that could use that referral and want to build that relationship, they're really doing really great things down there. Please let me know, and I'm happy to provide that introduction. Next piece on here. Metropolitan Township Association, as you all know, we are a member. They have their lobby day down in Springfield on March 19th. It's an all-day event if you're able to attend. An opportunity to kind of go, speaking to what you were talking about, Terry, earlier. I know there's folks that are concerned about some provisions potentially being in the budget regarding the dissolution of townships. So it'd be a good opportunity for you to kind of get down there and speak with your representative and senator, just down in Springfield, talking on behalf of the townships and potentially lobbying for additional resources for the township. We were very blessed to have gotten 325 between a state senator and a state representative, with potentially more down the line coming our way. But highly recommend, if you've never gone down to Springfield, to kind of on behalf of the township to take that opportunity again. That is March 19th. And with the annual town meeting coming up, just as I did last year, providing an update on our food pantry relationship with DuPage Township, I did ask for some updated numbers. So in 2023, they had 902 visits from zip codes that are in the Wheatland Township area. So that'd be like 60490, 585, 564, and I forget the fourth one. So there were 902 visits. 2024, they had 3,810 visits. All right, so I bring this up for y'all to realize how critical these food pantries can be for members of the community. We have definitely several kind of pantries that are nearby in near to this community, but oftentimes there are going to be limitations on how often people can visit these pantries. So it's pretty commonly the case that people will go to different food pantries in order to make sure that they have the full the full food and resources that they need to provide for their family. So that drastic rise from 2023 to 2024 is not very surprising to me, especially when you consider the rise in emergency assistance that we've had over the last year. So we've had significantly more emergency assistance requests in 2024 than we did in 2023. So again, it's pretty consistent, and we all know that a lot of people are struggling with prices, right, of groceries and just cost of living in general. And so I just wanted to bring you all to the attention. Again, we pay $50 a month to ensure that our residents have access. And I think the first year and a half of that was actually covered by our ARPA fund. So we essentially came out of it. We got reimbursed for that $50 a month. But it's been having a high level of impact in the community. So I just wanted everybody to be aware of that. And then before I conclude, I'm
Can I
sorry.
ask on that?
Yeah.
Just to have a grasp on how much they actually, like, what was their total visits?
I did not ask. I just asked for the zip codes that
Got it.
that fall within, but they're pretty, they serve a lot of families at the DuPage Township one. They certainly do. And I know they're looking to, I think so much so that they're actually looking to build a new facility in Bolingbrook. They've had some hiccups on that. I think the board is hoping to continue moving forward, but it's gonna be some time before they're actually able to get that new building off the ground, is my interpretation of the situation. And then relating to DuPage Township, I guess my last note this evening is for those who are not aware, Gary Marshke, the township supervisor in DuPage Township, did pass away on Sunday. Unfortunately, he's been sick for some time. He was very generous in offering us the ability to use their food pantry. And not only that, but as you all know, we also have that general assistance case management with them. $50 per case is far less than we would pay anybody kind of in-house for all the training that they would have to do, the softwares that would have to be purchased for that. So we've definitely benefited from that relationship. I'm grateful to Gary for offering those resources to us. He will be missed. And, I just ask that you all, if you're a person of faith or whatever it may be, that, pray for him and his family, through this difficult time. And with that, I will conclude my report. We have no additional items on the agenda. Can I please have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
And a second? All right, all in favor, we'll do this by voice vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, meeting is adjourned at 8:13 PM. Thank you, everyone.